Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. We're kicking things off a little bit different here. We're going to start out with some Battle Knights. So, welcome for all those that are new and visiting. Almost at 500 subs. Let's go. Let's get that grow train going on. Hopefully, we can hit that 500 by the end of the weekend. We will be doing some special videos concerning Dynasty Scrolls, so check those out. Apart from the usual daily dose, we're going to do some specific ones as well. But in terms of today, I figured it has been a very long time since I've discussed anything Battle Knights, so I'm just going to chill and have a little bit of a chat with everyone. Maybe delve into some of the new heroes that have popped up. Have a look at some of the additional things that they look like they're creating on the game. In terms of events, it'd be remiss of me not to mention it. We do have the bounty event up. So last week had the release of Legolas, which was the newest. I think it's was it the Tamer hero? I assume she was a Tamer hero, right? Actually, you know what? I need to grab that. I think she was a Tamer hero. We'll have a look at that and confirm that in a second. As you can probably tell, I did not do anything concerning her. She doesn't seem too fantastic in my eyes, but that's okay. If people want to build her, absolutely go ahead and build her. But in terms of this, value wise, there's not really too much value. This is probably the best value in the entire game at the moment, though, in terms of progress wise for 160 AUD dollars. Mainly because you're going to get handcuffs. So, if you don't know, handcuffs are for the bounty store, which you can acquire basically by doing the blue and purple tasks. You're going to be able to get Legolas's main hand, which is the Immortal Bow. This one seems pretty decent, a little bit of attack buff and sustain. During territory, hero will receive blessings. So territory is a state of attack, which Legolas does. I believe it's every first and four rounds. So I don't know if this is gonna stack or if it's just every first and four rounds she gets the buff for like one round, if you know what I mean. We'll have to see that. If somebody knows, of course, comment in that section down below. But my impression is, same with the control immunity. I think it's every the beginning of the fight and at the end of the fight. I assume that's what they mean, or well, by end I mean four rounds. Um, During the territory, units in line with the hero, so linear. Basically, she's like the last slot. Then the two in front of her are going to get 100% immune to control effects such as stun, silence, and taunt, which is not bad because old mate Dreyfus is an absolute beast, and I do like Mia Dreyfus with that taunt ability. So I don't know how that's going to affect heroes that are fighting Vida per se, because he does do a mark ability. So that'd be interesting. Is Mark classified as CC? I don't know if a mark is CC. So we're going to delve into a little bit about how things may be spiced up a little bit. As you can probably tell, they're releasing the gallery stages a lot quicker. So you're going to have lots of new heroes that pop up that we can discuss. But for Legolas, let's talk a little bit about what she does. So every first and four rounds, and well, every four rounds after that. So in the very beginning of the battle, she does nature territory. I assume that's what her weapon is talking about. And then every four rounds, she just applies marks. She adds thorn marks to all enemies. No attacks do burns. Skill does infect, and energy does bleed. So if we look at it in terms of this cloud, and then you've got rapid fire, which is your normal attack, and then you've got your element shot, which is your energy attack. Basically, all these ones essentially add different aspects to the Thorn territory or Nature territory. I'm gonna call it the Thorn territory because Thorn mark, right? Thorn mark territory. That's a tongue twister, but basically they add different effects, and then she does this thing here. when there's stacks on the enemy, whether it's a bleed, whether it's infect, whether it's a burn. She basically detonates it and then does an additional sort of debuff to the enemy. It seems good. It looks really good on paper. Um, but then again, lots of things in this game tend to look really good on paper. How squishy is she? Is the real question. Because if she can get targeted real quick in the game because she's the lowest HP target, uh, she ain't gonna be lasting very long to do any of these dots in PvP. I'm just saying. That's just the first thing I was thinking is she seems squishy. But anyway, so if the target has six dot effects, either or, I imagine basically she does lots more crit, so she doesn't need to be built with crit. I assume she doesn't need to be built with crit because of that passive ability. And then Element Shot also does additional bleeds and stuff like that, which is, interesting. Very interesting. I feel like she probably would shine on bosses and maybe mines, and feel like bosses, mines, um, she could be really good in the Dawn Cinema, actually, or guild bosses. She might be very viable there. That'll be interesting. But out of curiosity, I just want to see Vida. What do you do? Do you add a mark? Yeah, you do mark. So is mark technically a CC? I don't think so. So her offhand weapon potentially is not going to protect against old mate's mark. And I'm just curious here too. I asked this question on Discord, but if he engages her in a 1v1, she's not going to be spreading her love around, is it? She's basically going to be forced to attack Vida with her basic attack, isn't she? Challenges them to a duel. The target can only use normal attacks to attack Vida. So if she for some reason is built with a high attack ability, which kind of makes sense to build her with high speed or low speed high attack to get the dots off, but make more bang for your buck. Um, Interesting. I don't know. Was Vita created to counter certain heroes like this? Interesting. I'm going to keep saying interesting because at the end of the day, we got a new hero here anyway, so why don't we just check this out? It's the gorgeous assassin Nintu. And Nintu is it's a very interesting name. But I feel like this you got to have poison, right? Assassins have got to have poison or bleed. It's just going to happen, which could be cool too because if you think about it, Legolas, it doesn't say that the poison, bleed, or infect has to come from Legolas in order for her to blow the shit up, right? So technically, it could come from other heroes that apply those dot damages, and then she just explodes them when she does her normal attack, which could be interesting. Is it a normal attack or her active? One of the two, but she blows shit up, right? So when attacking the target, deals extra damage based on the number of snake marks. Snake marks. So they seem to be. She's a lot of these heroes seem to be applying marks, but they don't technically count as CC. Attack the target. Okay, so you have high probability to add more snake marks. When under attack by the target, there will be a probability to add. So she really just likes putting snake marks everywhere. Kind of like Vida with his aggro marks. When under attack by a snake mark target, you actually restore HP. That's an odd thing to talk about. She's very ambiguous in her classification here. I feel like it's early days and they're just putting the tiles up. It could just be early days, but that seems to be quite unusual. Lots of snake marks. Um, we got Jewel Maniac, of course. It is the Golden Wheel Beckinsale. Uh, Beckinsale, something like that. She looks pretty cool though. If you're gonna build something based on how cool a hero looks, she looks pretty cool. If the enemy has been marked with blade mark, again, these fucking marks, right? At the beginning of this round, then each mark will increase heroes effects once. Alright. The most that it can be increased is by X. So they're not revealing it just yet. Throws the frisbee. Oh, that thing in her arm is a big ass frisbee. This deals damage to all enemy units. Once the frisbee will fly back. Okay, yep. Once retrieved every layer of blade mark will deal damage. Okay. Alright, so basically she applies marks, she throws a frisbee. Depending on how many marks are on the target, she does more damage. And then I think she resets them. Multiple tag. Okay, more blade marks. Cool. To begin the round, a certain percentage of health will be lost. This will also add. Okay, so she sacrificed health in order to add more marks, and then okay, all right. So yeah, she could be interesting. I'm not excited about it. In all honesty, this one seems to have the most fucking words on the screen. We don't have anything for Hacker or Fallen though, so that's it's a bit sketchy. My guess is next hero to appear is going to be Dreyfus, and it's going to be old mate here. Don't know how to pronounce him. Arginine? Argreen? Green. Anyway, Papa Pirate dude over here. I feel like he's probably due to appear in a Perfect Tire event, even though he technically is a VIP exclusive. I reckon it's about time they threw him in there because realistically, nobody really cares at this stage. He's a cool tank, but Dreyfus is probably better in a lot of ways. I know, right? Don't hate on me for saying that, but Dreyfus's taunts are pretty next level. Um, I don't really feel like there's too much else to discuss in terms of that. But all in all, I like the fact they're starting to release more legendary heroes. It kind of sucks at the same time though, because the reality is you probably don't want to play with as many of the older ones like Asia, Harp, Phobe. You kind of probably do want to keep Pole around and maybe some Charlotte action, but the truth is, yeah, you can definitely see them. A lot of players coming in and just not be doing the old ones. I mean, in all reality, I'd love to be able to regress some of these guys and build the new ones, and then just feed them off into that. It doesn't, it's not going to impede me as much as I would have liked it to. But yeah, make sure you're doing your bounty event. If you're not aiming to get the where is it? That's the wrong one. Where's my bounty? If you're not aiming to get old mate Kratos, obviously don't do it as aggressively as others. Of course, if you really do want to buy any of these, main hand, off hands for Misthalin, Young, or Silly, Namiria, Raphael, or Gilbert, you're going to need 200 of them, which is not a bad thing. I don't know. Personally, I'd probably say this might be a little bit more interesting, her offhand, but this one seems pretty cool too. Damage buff and a little bit of sustain. I figure she's a squishy hero. That's my first impressions. But yeah, there's also this thing down here which is kind of cool. Apparently, can trade old limbos for any of these selected ones. Not that I really need any of these, so I probably don't need to keep doing this, but we'll just select that. Why not? And let's see what the trade process is. And there you go. Voila. It turns into one of those. Now, in terms of like here, you need to have the legendary version of the limbo, and then you can select one as well. If you want to do it as an example, I think I do have somebody with a legendary limbo. Let's just take you off there. Let's just show it as an example. I don't really want to throw it away just yet. And there you go. You can select one of these ones. It's all right. You can't get the Black Ice ones. You can't get any of the event exclusive ones. If anyone's curious, you're not going to be able to get them. It is what it is. All right. Anyway, last but not least, let's talk a little bit about the Obsidian Order, which is something that appears every 21 days. I believe it's to correspond with the Perfect Hire event. In fact, I'm almost positive it is. But in terms of value, all right, so the thing you're going to notice is this little bar in the middle. Essentially, you're going to need 500 of these little void crystals or void vault points to increase each stage. I'm not sure if they go up. I'm not really curious enough to find out, but it's going to cost you 1,000 gems if you want to start progressing just by spending to get the void points. Of course, the other way is the pay to win way. This is shit value. I'm not gonna lie. It's just shit value. $50. You get 2,500 of the void currency. I don't even know what the hell the bronze order does. I'm really not that curious. But in terms of in this one, I think unlocks the premium. If I'm not mistaken, or they both unlock the premium reward, so the bronze or the gold order, but the gold one seems to give you some additional void vault points. Jeez, it's gonna get vault point. We're just gonna call them vault points, all right? So vault points. And you're probably thinking, so what the fuck do I do with this? What's the purpose? If I scale all the way to the end, and I did this prior to this video, just because I love you all that much that I put myself through agony. But you know what? I figured, fuck it. I want to count how many of these void coins I can get. And lo and behold, the answer is 300 in total. You can check it yourselves if you like to. I just was like, oh, okay, so you get 300 of these void coins. Vault coins, not void coins, vault coins. And basically, it's like, oh, okay, well, how are we actually going to acquire all of that? I don't know if you need to necessarily buy the premium one. I guess it helps with the additional little vault currency things, but I don't know. It's very expensive. It works out to be quite expensive if you were trying to do this basically by spending gems to get the points. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But in terms of how to get the vault currency, the little green things, you basically have needed to do the perfect high summons event to get old mate Legolas. You kind of had to build her to to legendary as well. Then you got to get her main and offhand weapons. Then you got to do 150 times in arena. You got to do some hyperspace tasks, consume Howdums. You pretty much have to do the majority of these to be able to finish out your entire pathway. You don't need to do all of them, but I'd probably say you find yourself doing quite a lot of them to get that done. It's not terrible. Some of these tasks aren't terrible. Some of these tasks are definitely achievable. Most people will be doing them naturally. Maybe it incentivizes you to do the hyperspace task a little bit more, which is not bad. I mean, I generically don't do it. I just save it up and do it all at once. But maybe that's a bit of incentive to do it. Of course, in the arena, you need to have got at least one of the zones, or well, not zones, sorry, Legolas, which then you need to use her in arena and you need to use her in Dawn Cinema. Um, and of course, then you've got some additional ones where you actually manage to make her A1 or A2 or A3. And then you've got the little ancillary ones down here where you just get stuff for their senior highs, perfect highs, all that other sort of jazz. Not bad. Not bad. Just it's just additional things that you can acquire along the way. But why would you do it is the question. And I asked myself this when I had a look at the rewards, knowing that you can get these, vault coins. You get 300 by completing the entire, basically the order, I guess you want to call it. And of course, this does reset every 21 days. So don't be afraid. Like as far as I know, your vault coins aren't going to go anywhere. And if they did, that would be extremely shitty of them. But I feel like you should be able to save them up. And my logical reason says is because, as far as I can tell, you can only get 300 of these things. So the 450 mark here, if they took it away, that's pure ludicrous. But why would you be doing this? Maybe for the last copy of Legolas, or the last copy of whatever corresponding hero it is for the Perfect Hero event. That's probably the only reason that I would see people doing this, and engaging in it. But the reality is, it's just more fluff. It's not content. It's just more of the same shit, but they're just giving you rewards for it. I don't know. It just doesn't seem very appetizing to me. But in terms of this, I guess I will probably be looking at that from a value perspective, being able to get the Aldum boxes. That's not too terrible. And they're a selection chest, by the way. So, if you're missing some by now, because I know how shitty the drop rates are in the mines, maybe that's a way for you to secure that and do it, for free, because you will be able to do it for free. You will have to grind, of course, but you should be able to get 75 of those tokens for free just by doing your arena, your hyperspace, and maybe if you get lucky and summon her out and all that stuff. I'd say you probably have a good chance of getting that for free. I'm not gonna shit on it entirely, but again, I sort of failed to see the value in it in terms of spending money on it. I kind of think, yeah, it's not bad. You just grind it out, and then eventually, you might be able to buy one of these a month. Because again, they're limited to one, so it's not like you could save this up for 6 months and then be like, you know what, fuck your war game. I'm not going to do my perfect sire summons. I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to buy the entire hero out and make them A3. Well, it's not going to let you do that. It's just going to let you buy one copy. Um, yeah. So, in terms of it actually having any real increased value, like you being able to buy an actual fucking A3 hero out of the store, um, I don't know. I reckon they're probably going to put in the gold hourglasses when they appear next time, which will make it very interesting. So I'm not entirely discounting it. So I'd say they're gonna either make the gold twisted hourglasses a pay to win item, or a very exclusive item, and I'm assuming they're gonna do it at some point when they release the red heroes to allow people to regress some of their boo boos. My boo boo was making harp. Although I guess he would work quite well with Legolas with the burns and pole and bleeds and all that other loveliness, but we're not going to ever find out, are we? No, no, we're not. Um, but yeah, that's it in a nutshell. There's not too much else going on. I believe there's a little bit of a spoiler alert on the Discord channels concerning Clash. So if you're not currently doing it, maybe get yourself in a guild that is, and then like me, I just go down to the baby item. I don't mess around. I just occupy the easiest one. Most players can solo a level one or level two island speak English easily because they're only like 60 or 40 million damage. Most players can do that within 5 turns. Just occupy the islands, help your guild out. The rewards aren't fantastic, I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of pretty average, but they may get better depending on what they release with the upgrades. There may be a little bit more incentive. I'd be really very curious to see if we can get some of these premium badges. As you can see, I managed to buy out Old Mate Pole's main weapon, and no, I did not get it at S rank. The fucking pricks gave it to me at A. But yes, did get his tyrant weapon. It would be cool if we could, of course, get some more of the gold badges for free. I could definitely see that as a viable reward. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you found this mildly entertaining, or are just curious about the game in general, let me know in the comment section down below. We do have a Discord that's more dedicated towards Dynasty Scrolls, but that will be in the link in the description. Of course, I will have aspects on that channel that have Battle Knights in there, so, feel free to drop a, link in there. Say hi if you want to. If not, that's fine, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.